Hi everybody and welcome to Photomikes Garage. Alright, so as you can see, it's a beautiful day out here. We got blue skies. And it's been a while. It's been quite a while since I did any videos with my Crown Victoria Police Interceptor sitting right there. This thing is beautiful. It's been a while. And the reason why is because the car has been dead reliable. I drive this every day. And I'm loving every moment of it, and nothing's going wrong. There's nothing for me to repair. I'm happy the way it drives. There's not many changes I would want to do with it anyway, so basically it hasn't required any maintenance until today. So today we are going to work on my 2008 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. This beautiful car was a Vancouver police detective's car. Had very little holes in the bodywork, no decals. It was beautiful. It's got a lot of scratches. It's definitely got its war wounds, which I kind of like. And the only thing I've done is I have added push bar, Go Rhino push bar. I've done maintenance, cleanup, polishing, although right now it's really dirty. And I did add a, what did I do? Oh yeah. I did add a Dukes of Hazzard horn to this car. Check it out. Okay, it's a little tired, but you know, you get the idea. Today we're going to work on the brakes, specifically on the driver's side rear. There's a bit of a problem, so let me get the wheel off and I'll show you what I got to work with. So what I'm going to use to raise the car up is the jack, the scissors jack that came with the car. This is really heavy duty. And it's pretty easy to use. There you go. It's going to be fast and easy to lift this sucker up. Just gotta get it up. Another thing I like about these cars, they have a full frame. As you can see, there's a full perimeter frame under the whole car. Makes it very easy to find a place to raise the car up from. Not like these modern cars where if you get it wrong, you're gonna crunch up the whole fender. Okay, actually I'm too lazy to do it the old-fashioned way, so let's use some modern power. Not the right way, but it worked. And we can use this hook on the end of the jack handle to take our little police hubcap off. Yeah, didn't really want to do that, but okay. And off she comes. Okay, now that we got the wheel off, we can see that the brakes are in pretty good shape. Rotor still has lots of meat on it. The Vancouver police took good care of this car. All maintenance was done. This brake caliper looks pretty good. Even got some pad still left, but what's the problem? The problem is, yeah, right here, that's where there's supposed to be a bleeder screw, and it broke off. So last time I was trying to bleed these brakes, that just broke clean off. And so I just decided that I got to get a new caliper. Because the calipers on these cars are so cheap, get them for like 20 bucks, that it actually just makes sense just to replace the whole caliper. And that's what I'm going to do today. So basically it's a pretty simple job. You got to disconnect the brake line right there. And then you got a bolt here and a bolt here that'll take the caliper off. And then we can install a new one. Now, to make sure we don't lose too much fluid when we disconnect the brake line, there's a little trick here. Let me show you. All you do is you put your brakes on and wedge them on, say with a bar. So you put a bar on your brake pedal, you push on it, and you keep it on. Now that will push the cylinder in the master cylinder up a little bit and make sure that no more fluid can drain out of your reservoir. So that's one way to make sure that not too much fluid drains out at the back. You don't lose too much fluid. Makes it easier to bleed the brakes when the time comes. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put the brakes on. and wedge it on. Wedging it up against the seat. Just like so. But before I take anything more further apart, let's make sure that the caliper I have is the right one. Uh-oh. Made in China. Hopefully I'll be okay. I don't know. I am pretty cheap, you know, and sometimes that can bite you. So this is the caliper. It's supposed to be the one for... No, it looks like it's the wrong one. Oh, it's the right one. Yeah. So it's going to go like this. There's our bleeder screw. Yeah, it looks the same, right? Yeah. Yeah, that looks like that's going to work. So I think we should be fine. Nice and shiny, though. I don't think so for very long. First of all, I'm going to crack the brake line bolt. Whoa. I started leaking right away. Okay. And the caliper bolts. Those caliper bolts were on way too tight. Man, oh man, I was thinking they're going to break. But now it's coming off. There's one. And two. Now we're going to have to use some new washers, copper washers, with this banjo bolt, as they say. And I don't think it comes with it, but as you can see, there's fluid coming out of the caliper, but no fluid is coming out of the line because I put that brake pedal on. As you can see, there's a copper washer right there. We're going to have to replace that. And there should be another one next to the caliper body. Going to replace two of them, and that should be fine. Okay, so you can see the caliper is off. I had to sort of wedge it off like this because it's sort of hooked over this part of the bracket. And you can also see that the copper washer has come with it, so we need two new copper washers. I'm going to reuse the old brake pads because they still have life left on them. And, you know, rear brakes, they just wear out very slowly, so this should last a long time. Okay, so I'm putting the brake pads back into the new one. I kind of think I should have gotten new brake pads. It just makes sense. You're getting a new caliper, get some new brake pads, but I didn't do it, so I'm going to reuse the old ones. Just going to push this brake pad in, the outboard one, like that. Something like that. Maybe not quite like that, but close. So one brake pad is in, and this one just sort of fits in like this into the hole. And there we go. Gotta wedge it on here. Wedge it on. And then we're gonna snap it in because it got that little spring right there. It's got to snap right over that. That didn't quite work. Okay, I snapped it in. You got to make sure that the hooks in the bottom are in place. This little spring clip is in place. And another thing that stops it from hooking in is that you got to make sure these boots are out of the way. You got to push these guys this way, or else they're going to interfere with the caliper bracket. So once those are out of the way, you can snap it right in. Now I'll put the basic bolts in to hold the caliper to the bracket, and then we'll attach the brake hose. Okay, we've got two new copper gaskets to be used, but don't forget to take off the old one. As you can see, it's crushed on there. And if you leave that on there, you may not get a good seal. In fact, you won't get a good seal, so you got to take it off, which I might have to take it off with pliers or something because that doesn't want to come off. Okay, I got the old copper washer off, so how we're going to do it, I'm going to put one on right now. And then we're going to put the bolt through the banjo fitting, or whatever you want to call it. Banjo fitting, like so. Make sure everything's clean. Then we're going to put another washer right there. Okay, so that's our other washer. So now you got to make sure you got two washers, one right there and one right there. And that will seal, hopefully. Now we can get this bolt started in the hole. If I can get it started. So like I thought, the torque value for the caliper bolts is quite low, only 20 foot-pounds. So just snug these up and you're done. Now it's time to bleed the brakes. Okay, I had to take the banjo bolts off again because it was actually leaking. So it is important that you get the right size copper gasket. The one I had on was too big, and so that was causing some sort of interference. So I've got a smaller one on, hoping that that's going to work. Let's find out. Yes. Let it up. Okay, press down. Let it up. Press down. Let it up. All right, the bleeding has been done thanks to my assistant Liam. There are no leaks, and I think we're good to go. All right, so 2 takeaways. One thing is, if you get a cheap Chinese caliper, you're not going to get the copper washers that you require, and so you're gonna have to buy them separately. And second of all, make sure they're the right size to fit with your particular application. The ones I had at first were too large, and then luckily I still had some small ones that I could put in. So that's the only thing of any concern. The other thing is not to tighten these caliper bolts too tight. Some people mistakenly look up the torque specs for the caliper bracket. That's like 100 foot-pounds. If you do that with the caliper bolts, you're gonna strip them, break everything, so you don't want that. These are about 20 foot-pounds for this guy. Not very much. Okay, the job is done. Rear caliper replaced. Thanks for watching Photomikes Garage. I will see you next time.